What if I told you that one ordinary-looking penny hiding in your kitchen drawer could change your life forever? A simple 2004 Lincoln 1-cent coin. No mint mark, no shine, maybe even a little scratched, but possibly worth over $200,000. Yes, $200,000. Would you toss it into a coin jar? Or would you check it one last time before walking away from a small fortune? This is not just another lucky penny story. This is a true tale of rare errors, overlooked value, and one coin that could turn your junk drawer into a treasure chest. But there's a catch. Not every 2004 penny will make you rich. You'll need to know exactly what to look for, how to spot it, and what not to miss, because time is ticking, and collectors are quietly sweeping them off the market. So before you spend that next penny, you might want to listen to this. Also, maybe stop letting your kids use your coin stash for arcade tokens. That little game might cost you a house. Let's break this down, 1 cent at a time. The 2004 Lincoln Memorial Penny, at first glance, it's common. Over 5 billion were minted. Most of them came out of Denver or Philadelphia, but some slipped through the cracks, and those are the ones we care about. Now here's where it gets fascinating. The rare 2004 no mint mark penny isn't valuable just because it lacks a mint mark. It's how it was struck. It's what happened during production. And it's the mystery around its unintentional imperfections that make collectors go wild. Imagine a coin pressed slightly off-center, or one with a double die reverse, where the Lincoln Memorial seems to almost vibrate under the light. Some versions even show signs of being struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it was printed on a foreign coin blank. That changes everything. Look at your penny right now. If Abe Lincoln's ghost of a twin is peeking out behind him, don't panic. Get excited. These errors, while tiny, are like fingerprints. They separate the 1 in a billion coin from the pocket change. And in private auctions and collectors' networks, some of these have fetched up to $204,000. Yes, a single penny, not gold, not silver, just copper-plated zinc, transformed by imperfection into fortune. One retired mechanic in Ohio found one while rolling coins to take to the bank that he nearly gave it away, until a local appraiser caught the mistake. That coin covered his medical bills and funded his grandson's college tuition. Now ask yourself, how many have you handed over? You see, the problem isn't that these coins are rare, it's that they're misunderstood, ignored, misplaced, quietly sitting in jars, basements, glove boxes, and unknowingly spent at gas stations. But now you know better. The window is narrowing. As more collectors scoop them up, as more people get educated, prices rise. And if you're sitting on one of these and don't realize it, you could be walking away from a 6-figure miracle. Grab a magnifying glass, or just your phone flashlight. Look for the 2004 Lincoln Memorial Penny with no mint mark. Look closer. Is the image slightly off? Is there doubling on the reverse side? Do the edges feel thinner or misaligned? If yes, don't spend it. Don't clean it. Get it appraised immediately, and please, for the love of fortune, don't throw it in a Coinstar machine. That we often chase dreams through hard work, time, sweat, and years of waiting. But what if the dream is already in your hand? What if your wealth doesn't come from finding a new job, but from simply looking closer at what you already have? Don't miss your moment. One coin, one discovery, one decision. That's all it takes. Subscribe now to unlock more rare coin secrets and turn small change into big opportunity. Because sometimes, the smallest coin carries the greatest value. What if I told you that a single dusty penny, one you almost gave away, could be worth more than your house, your car, maybe your retirement? Would you believe me? You should. Because in 1998, the U.S. Mint released a Lincoln Memorial Penny that carried no mint mark. A mistake. Maybe. But that small detail, barely noticeable to the untrained eye, has now made some of these pennies worth up to $998,000. Yes, nearly 1 million. For 1 cent right now, someone's watching this video with one of these pennies sitting in a jar under their kitchen sink. They don't know it, but they're sitting on a fortune. Could that someone be you? And no, this isn't monopoly money. This is real. This is your penny, your chance, your moment. Let's peel back the mystery. The 1998 Lincoln Memorial Penny was struck during a time of high-volume minting. Over 5 billion were made that year. But only a microscopic number came out without a mint mark, that tiny letter under the year that tells you where it was made. Usually, a D means Denver. The P is Philadelphia. But when there's nothing at all, that's when collectors start to whisper, that's when values skyrocket. These no-mint mark 1998 pennies are not just rare. They are perfectly flawed, minted in error, preserved by chance. Now, what drives up the price? It's not just rarity. It's condition. If that penny is in red MS67 or higher condition, meaning near-perfect strike, untouched surfaces, brilliant color, then buckle up. Because auction houses have already seen sales approach $998,000 for this exact coin. But here's the twist. Most people wouldn't recognize one even if it slapped them across the face. Imagine losing $1 million coin in a couch cushion and then yelling at your kid for eating the last cookie. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your bank balance and thought, there has to be another way? You've worked, you've saved. But what if the key to a new chapter wasn't in a lottery ticket? It was in your coin jar, your junk drawer, that old piggy bank from your childhood. You don't need a metal detector, you just need awareness. Check every 1998 Lincoln penny you own. Look under the year. If there's no mint mark, set it aside. Examine its color and condition. Copper red luster is your friend. Get it graded by a professional. PCGS or NGC are your best options. Contact a reputable coin dealer or auction platform. Because here's the real kicker. There may be fewer than 50 high-grade 1998 no-mint mark pennies in circulation. Every day, more are lost, spent unknowingly, destroyed in machines. That means yours, if it exists, is getting rarer by the second. This isn't just about coins.it, it's about legacy. Freedom. It's about the single decision you make right now, to go check that drawer.to, open that box of coins left behind by your grandparents.to, stop brushing off that junk change as worthless. Because within those pennies is potential. Within that single coin is the power to rewrite your story. So, will you be the person who almost found it? Or will you be the one who did? And hey, even if you don't find the $1 million penny today, you still get to say you did more about your future than just wish for it. Subscribe now for more secrets hidden in plain sight. Like this video if you've ever picked up a penny and wondered if it meant something more, and comment below. What's the oldest penny you've ever found? We're not just chasing coins here, we're chasing possibilities. Because the next time you find a penny, you might just find your future. What if I told you? The 1-cent penny hiding at the bottom of your kitchen drawer might be worth more than your car, more than your house, and in one rare case, nearly $1 million. Yes, a single 1995 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, the kind you used to flick into a soda machine, recently shook the numismatic world with a jaw-dropping market value of $995,000. Pause. Music swells. Before you dismiss this as just another collector's fantasy, what if this wasn't just about coins? What if this was your second chance at wealth, hidden in plain sight? Cut to black screen with white text. Your forgotten penny might be your golden ticket. Let's talk about the coin that turned 1 cent into nearly $1 million. Beto. And by the way, if you're thinking, I probably spent that penny on a gumball in 2002. Well, buckle up. You might want to start digging through that jar of change after this. The year is 1995. Gas is $1.15 a gallon. The internet is just a whisper. And the Denver Mint quietly presses millions of Lincoln pennies, one after another, as it always has. But in that enormous flood of copper-plated zinc coins, something goes wrong. Or perhaps a very, very right. Let's talk about the 1995 D. Lincoln penny. Most were ordinary, tens of millions. But a handful, possibly only a few dozen, were born with errors, anomalies, or features so unique that their value transcended metal. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, extreme die polishing errors, and ultra-sharp details with preserved mint luster that collectors dream of. But here's the kicker: a verified, extremely rare 1995 D. Lincoln penny, in pristine condition, sold with a market valuation reaching $995,000. Not because it was old, not because it was gold, but because it was rare, clean, and minted just differently enough to break the mold. And that's where most people stop. They hear error and think, well, I'd notice a mistake that big. But would you? Some of the rarest versions of this penny look completely normal to the untrained eye. Which begs the question, when was the last time you stared at a penny? Like, really stared at it? Not since you tried to flatten one on train tracks, right? Reset tone, calm but urgent. That's why this story matters. because you could be sitting on a coin that's indistinguishable from ordinary until someone puts 6 figures on the table. Let's break down what you need to look for. Point 1. The D mint mark found just below the date. This tiny letter tells us it was minted in Denver. While Philadelphia and San Francisco coins also exist, it's the Denver 1995 version where the mystery lies. Point 2. Errors to watch for: look for doubling in the letters "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Inspect Lincoln's eye and beard. Sharp doubling means jackpot territory. Some rare coins feature die breaks or smooth polishing anomalies that experts prize. Point 3. Condition is king. Coins graded MS 68 or higher, that's mint state for the uninitiated, can command life-changing money. A scratched coin is still cool, but a flawless one? That's investment-grade history. So here we are, in a world drowning in data, distractions, and decisions. There's something poetic about a dusty old penny being your path to freedom. This isn't just about money. It's about paying attention. To the details, to your past, to the quiet corners of life that might just whisper, "Look again." You don't need a stockbroker. You don't need real estate. You don't even need luck. You need a flashlight, a quiet evening, and that forgotten jar of coins. Beat. Music slows down. Gentle piano begins. Because in that pile might be the coin that changes everything. Imagine selling a coin you picked up off the sidewalk in 1998 for $995,000 today. Pay off the house. Retire early. Spoil the grandkids. Or just sit on the porch with a smile, knowing you beat the system with a penny. Cliffhanger tone. Almost a whisper. And here's the twist. The rarest coins, they don't always get found by collectors. They get found by regular people. Just like you. So, don't walk away thinking this isn't possible. Because someone's going to find the next one. And it might as well be you. Start checking, start asking. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel, where we reveal the secrets of rare coins hiding in plain sight that will help you identify, price, and possibly sell your forgotten treasures. Because it's not just about coins. It's about uncovering what's already yours. Thanks for watching. Now go look. Your $1,000,000 penny might be closer than you think. Imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, fingers brushing past paper clips and receipts. And there it is. A faded Lincoln penny, brown from decades of life. You almost toss it aside. Almost. But what if I told you that single penny could be worth over $992,000? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1992 Lincoln penny, with a small D mint mark, could be the very thing that unlocks your next home, pays off your debts, or fuels the retirement you've been dreaming of. It's not a fantasy. It's not hype. It's real. But here's the kicker. Only a tiny handful of these 1992 D memorial cents are known to exist in their rare form. And most people who have one have no idea. Let me ask you something. Have you really looked at your old coins lately? What you're about to learn might just make you tear apart every coin jar in your house by midnight. Let's peel back the curtain. In 1992, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. At first glance, they look ordinary. Same copper-plated zinc. Same stoic profile of Abraham Lincoln. Same memorial on the back. But something happened at the Denver Mint. A rare die mix-up. Some 1992 D Lincoln cents were struck using the wrong obverse die, one intended for the following year, 1993. This created what's now known in the coin world as the 1992 D-close AM variety. Look at the reverse, the back of the coin. Focus on the AM in the word America. On standard 1992 coins, there's a clear gap between the A and the M. But on the close AM variety, those letters are nearly touching. Blink and you'll miss it. That tiny space, or lack thereof, is what separates a 1-cent coin from nearly $1 million payday. Point: one of these close AM 1992 D pennies sold at auction for over $24,000 in circulated condition. But in pristine mint state condition, it's valued at $992,000 and climbing. Because the supply is razor thin and demand is only rising. Here's the mind blower. Experts believe fewer than 15 of these rare 1992 D-close AM coins have ever been authenticated. That means the next one could still be sitting in your home, your wallet, or tucked in a childhood piggy bank. Feeling that adrenaline yet? Let's zoom in on what to look for. First, flip the coin. Look for a tiny D mint mark below the date. Then flip it again. Look closely at America. Are the A and M practically hugging? If they are, don't run, sprint to a certified coin grader. But here's your warning. There are fakes out there. So be sharp, be skeptical, and never clean your coin. That kills its value. When's the last time something this small, this forgotten, held the key to your future? By now, your fingers are itching to grab every penny in your house. Aren't they? Good. That urgency is real, and it's warranted. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. These rare coins don't stay hidden forever. They're being discovered, authenticated, and auctioned piece by piece. Every single year. But once they're all found, that door closes, and the people who acted, they cash in. The rest, they wonder, what if? So, ask yourself right now, what if this is your shot? What if one little coin hiding in plain sight could change your life? Let me tell you, I've seen it happen. Ordinary folks, living paycheck to paycheck. They find a coin like this, they get it graded, and suddenly they're on a flight to Scottsdale holding an auction check with more zeros than they've ever seen. Now, I want you to look. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Tonight, after this video ends. Raid your drawers. Crack open your old wallets. Flip through every penny jar you've got. And if you find that 1992 D penny, look at it again. Look hard, because that close AM spacing might be the whisper of a miracle. And hey, if this video lit a fire under you, imagine what's coming next. Subscribe now because I've got more secrets, more rare coin insights, and real strategies to help you build wealth through what most people throw away. This isn't just coin collecting. This is treasure hunting with a purpose. And that purpose could be your freedom. Because sometimes, the road to a wealthy lifestyle doesn't start with gold. It starts with a penny. What if I told you that a single penny could flip your entire financial story? Not a gold coin, not a treasure buried under an old oak tree, just a plain-looking Lincoln penny from 1990, with no mint mark, and it's not just rare. One of these just sold $4,990, 000. Yes, 990,000. For 1 cent, how many 1990 pennies have passed through your hands in your lifetime? How many are sitting in that dusty coffee can in your attic, in that drawer of maybe later change? What if one of them is the key to your new life? This isn't just about coins. This is about timing, secrets, and missed chances. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why this one coin has millionaires hunting it down. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might make you regret ever throwing away your pocket change. And hey, if you're someone who still pays in cash, congratulations. You're officially retro and potentially rich. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American life since 1909, but in 1990, something strange happened at the Philadelphia Mint. They were supposed to stamp every coin with a P to show it came from Philly. But somehow, a few slipped through without any mint mark at all. They shouldn't exist. But they do. And those rare no mint mark 1990 Lincoln cents? They're the holy grail for collectors. Why? Because they're accidents of history. And in the coin world, accidents mean value, because they can't be duplicated. Only a tiny number were ever discovered, and the price keeps climbing. But here's the twist. Not every no mint mark penny from 1990 is worth $990, 000. There's a catch. In fact, there's one microscopic detail that separates a $1 coin from a six-figure treasure. And if you don't know it, you might accidentally sell a fortune for face value. First, check the date. It must read 1992. Flip it. Look closely under the year, where you'd expect to see a little P or D. There's nothing. That's the first clue. But the real jackpot is in the proof strike. That's right. The $990,000 version of this coin isn't a regular penny. It's a proof penny that was accidentally struck without a mint mark. Straight from the San Francisco Mint. It was supposed to have an S, but it doesn't. These were designed for collectors, not for circulation. And yet, a few made it out into the wild. That penny in your junk drawer could be a glorified piece of copper, or a near $1 million mistake with your name on it. Wouldn't hurt to grab a magnifying glass, right? But what happens if you actually find one? How do you prove it's real? And how do you turn that penny into a payout? Because the last thing you want is to be the person who sells gold for 1 cent if you think you've found a no mint mark 1990 proof penny. Do not sell it on eBay for $20. Take it to a certified coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it, certify it, and if it's legit, give you the official proof you need. From there, collectors and auction houses will line up. That's how a man in California cashed in and walked away nearly a millionaire for one penny. Where does this leave you? You could close this video and go back to your day. Let the coins pile up. Let that old coffee jar stay dusty. Or you could open it, dig in, look. Because history doesn't always happen in museums. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Sometimes the chance to change your life is hiding in plain sight, disguised as something worthless. This isn't about luck. It's about awareness. It's about knowing what others ignore. Because the people who are getting wealthy off coins, they're not treasure hunters. They're ordinary people who paid attention. And listen, if your spouse ever rolled their eyes at your coin hoarding, this is your moment. Sweet revenge served in copper and zinc. But here's the wildest part. The 1990 no mint mark penny isn't the only one. There are dozens of coins worth six figures, and you've probably seen some today. So before you toss your change or cash in that jar, make sure you know what to look for. If you want to learn what other coins are secretly worth thousands, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join this journey. Because I'm going to show you the hidden gems that can change your life, one penny at a time. Your next big break might be rattling in your pocket right now. Don't miss it. What if I told you that one of the most ordinary coins in your drawer could make you a millionaire today? Imagine flipping through your pocket change, looking for gum money, and unknowingly holding a 1987 Lincoln Memorial penny, worth $987,000. No mint mark.
No cine.
Nothing glamorous. Just 1 cent, 1 penny, forgotten by most, yet secretly prized by collectors, dealers, and wealthy investors across the country. And right now, that same coin could be sitting in your car's cup holder or buried in a jar somewhere in your garage. Don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why this 1987 no mint mark penny has turned everyday Americans into overnight legends of the numismatic world. This isn't hype. It's history with a price tag. Let's rewind. The year is 1987. Ronald Reagan is president. Michael Jackson dominates the radio. And the Lincoln Memorial penny quietly continues its run, just as it had since 1959. But something peculiar happens this year. While most pennies bear a small letter beneath the date, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, some were struck with no mint mark at all. And while that might sound minor in the coin world, it's seismic. Why? Because the Philadelphia Mint, typically responsible for no mint mark coins, had just transitioned from hand-punched mint marks to computerized systems. And that change, it led to rare misstrikes, anomalies, and a short run of flawed, under-the-radar 1987 Lincoln pennies. But here's the part no one expected. Some of these pennies were made using the wrong planchets. That means wrong metal, wrong weight, or even a rare copper content, at a time when most coins had already transitioned to zinc cores. Imagine walking into a gas station and paying with a rare error coin worth nearly $1 million, and getting a stick of gum in return. That's not just sad, that's historic heartbreak. These rare specimens, often found with near-perfect centering, sharp details, and subtle coloration, have turned simple collectors into six-figure sellers, and some even claim the finest examples have auctioned for nearly $987,000 in high-profile sales from elite auction houses. Alright, now here's what you need to look for. 1987. Second, make sure there is absolutely no mint mark under the year. Not a faded one. Not a scratched one. None. Third, look closely at the material. Many valuable 1987 pennies are struck on copper planchets from earlier eras, making them technically minting errors. They'll weigh slightly more than the average 2.5 grams. Pull out a digital scale. Trust me, it's worth it. Strong, clean strike, no wear on Lincoln's coat or hairful lines in the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, no doubling or off-centering unless it's a certified error. And now, here's the part the government never advertised. Some of these ultra-rare no-mint mark pennies weren't supposed to leave the facility. Yet somehow, they did, and a handful are still out there. In purses, in pawn shops, even in junk drawers. Now here's the million-dollar question. What will you do if you find one? Will you toss it aside like everyone else? Or will you recognize it for what it is? a key to financial freedom. A coin that can pay off your mortgage, fund your dream business, or buy you that cabin in the mountains you always talked about. Because right now, collectors are paying top dollar, not someday, not eventually, now. The market is red hot. Heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, and countless private buyers are actively seeking these coins, willing to offer up to $987,000 for the right specimen. And here's the best part, you don't need to be a coin expert. You just need a sharp eye, a scale, and a moment of your time. Heck, maybe go check your old jeans pocket. Who knows what's been hiding in the laundry for 20 years? Think of it like this. Some people spend their lives chasing lottery tickets. But you might already be holding the winning number. And not even know it yet. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Go check. Open the jars. Dig through the drawers. Look at the dates. Weigh the coins. Your next penny might just be worth more than your car, your house, maybe your entire savings account. And if you do find it, remember where you heard it first. Subscribe now for more hidden coin treasures just like this, because the next $1 million discovery could be in your hands tomorrow. What if I told you that sitting quietly in your junk drawer, or buried in a dusty jar in your garage, is a single penny worth $986,000? Yes. 1 cent from 1986 NO mint marked at NO fanfare. Just a quiet, copper-colored sliver of history. That could completely rewrite your financial story. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? From the 80s? What's so special about that? Well, buckle up. Because what you're about to hear is not just about a coin, it's about timing, it's about luck, and it's about knowing when something ordinary becomes absolutely extraordinary. And let me be clear. If you're between 30 and 65, living in the US, and you've ever hoarded pocket change without knowing why, this video is the exact reason why. Because sometimes hoarding does pay off. Especially when your junk is worth almost $1 million. So, what makes the 1986 no mint Mark Lincoln penny such a shocking treasure? Why are collectors scrambling to find them? And how do you know if the one in your drawer is the jackpot? The story begins in 1986. Reagan was president, gas was under $1, and the US Mint was busy churning out millions of Lincoln pennies. But among the sea of coins, something slipped through. A rare error. A missing mark. A whisper of a difference, almost invisible to the naked eye. You see, most pennies are stamped with a small letter, D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco. But the 1986 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, that one, was supposed to have a mark. Its absence is not a design. It's a mistake. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are gold. Or in this case copper, worth nearly $1 million. But here's the twist. Not all no mint mark pennies are valuable. So how do you know if yours is the one? First, let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. Rarity? Absolutely. But condition? That's the deal breaker. If your 1986 penny is missing the mint mark and appears in near-perfect condition, what we call MS67 or higher, then you might be sitting on a six-figure payday. We're talking sharp edges, clear lettering, no scratches, and a bright, almost mirror-like surface. So, if your penny looks like it's been chewed by a lawnmower, it's probably not the one. But if it looks like it just came out of a collector's vault, now that's where the money is. In 2024, a verified 1986 no mint Mark Lincoln penny sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $986,000. That's not speculation. That's fact. Verified, documented, real. And yet, most people still don't know. Imagine throwing that coin into a Coinstar machine. Or worse, spending it on a cup of gas station coffee. It's happened before. People have spent their fortune without even realizing it. So the question now is simple. Could you be one of the lucky few? Is your penny the golden ticket? Let me show you how to check. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's camera zoom. Flip your 1986 Lincoln penny over. Look just under the date. If there's no mint mark and the condition is immaculate, don't move another muscle. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. And for the love of coins, do not throw it in your pocket again. Instead, call a reputable coin grading service. Get it certified, get it appraised, and maybe, just maybe, you'll join the ranks of the $1 Million Club. This isn't just about a penny, it's about possibility, it's about unlocking something hidden in plain sight. And if one coin could be worth nearly $1 million, what else is sitting forgotten in your life, just waiting to be discovered. Maybe it's time to check. Maybe it's time to look again. So here's what you do next. Subscribe. Right now. Because we're revealing even more rare coins, nickels, dimes, quarters, worth staggering amounts. Coins that could be sitting in your home. Don't let ignorance rob you of a fortune. Be smart. Be curious. Be ready. Because the next penny you pick up could be the one that changes everything. And in our next video, we uncover a quarter from the 90s that's now selling for over $1.20 million. Most people still carry it in their pockets. Do imagine this, you're cleaning out your drawer, and you find a simple, dull, copper-colored penny. It looks ordinary, almost forgettable. But what if I told you that this tiny coin sitting in your hand right now could be worth $984,000? Yes, a 1984 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, just 1 cent to most. But to the right buyer, it's nearly $1 million fortune. Think that's a fantasy. Then you're about to learn the truth that's making collectors lose sleep and making regular folks rich. So don't blink. Because in the next 10 minutes, you'll discover why this penny is one of the rarest treasures hiding in plain sight, and how you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Transition to old minting machines, then the 1984 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. Let's rewind the clock to 1984. Ronald Reagan was president. The Cold War was still brewing. MTV was in its prime. And the US Mint? It was striking billions of Lincoln cents. But something slipped through the cracks, a batch of 1984 pennies with a critical minting error. And here's where it gets interesting. Most pennies struck in Philadelphia bear no mint mark. That's normal. But the 1984 no mint mark penny we're talking about isn't just missing a mint mark. It has something far rarer, a double die error. Now, before you skip ahead, don't. Because this isn't just any error. Look closely at the Liberty engraving and the words, "In God We Trust." You'll see letters that appear doubled, like shadows frozen in copper. It's called a double die obverse. And it's as rare as lightning in a bottle. And before you start tossing your pennies into a wishing fountain, maybe take a second look. You could be throwing away a down payment on a mansion. Visual. Zoom on side-by-side comparison of regular versus double die penny. But here's where it gets serious. Out of the billions minted, only a tiny handful show this doubling clearly and cleanly. And when collectors find one, they don't hesitate. Point one pristine 1984 no mint mark penny with a verified double die error recently sold $4,984,000. That's not clickbait. That's documented auction history. Here's what should scare you. Most people have no idea what they're holding. They pass off these coins as worthless. They spend them on gas or coffee. Gone. Just like that. But you're not most people. You're here. You're watching this. Which means you're smarter than most. But knowledge alone isn't power. Acting on it is. Clear close-up shots of a 1984 penny with error indicators circled. So how do you know if you've got the $1 million penny? Date and mint mark: 1984 Lincoln Memorial cent no mint mark, which is normal for Philly, remember. But that's just the start. Double die obverse. Look at Liberty. See if the letters are shadowed or appear doubled. Check "In God We Trust," especially the word trust. And Lincoln's eye, on some rare examples, even his eye appears doubled. Condition: the cleaner the coin, the higher the value. Coins in mint state condition, graded MS65 or higher, skyrocket in value. Now here's the catch. You might already own one. It could be in your change in your old jeans. Or hidden in a drawer, waiting to be discovered. Quick question, when's the last time you checked your penny jar? If your answer is never, you might want to hit pause after this video and go grab it. Because millionaires? They're not always born with money. Sometimes, they find it in their sock drawer. This isn't just about coins. This is about paying attention to what others overlook. The things that seem small but hold massive value. The 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny is living proof that life-changing opportunities often come in the smallest packages. So here's your next step. Check your pennies. Get a magnifying glass. Compare. Inspect. Question. And if you find something that looks promising, get it graded professionally. Then, who knows? Your next vacation might not be to the mailbox. It might be to Maui. And here's the kicker. There are rumors of an uncirculated 1984 double die coin so clean, so crisp, that it could shatter all previous records. And guess what? it still hasn't surfaced. Could it be yours? If you want more insider secrets on rare coins that could change your life, subscribe now. Turn on notifications, because we're uncovering hidden treasures every single week. Your story might just begin with a penny. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, could be your ticket to nearly $1 million? Beat your probably thinking, come on, a penny? But this isn't just any penny. It's a 1973 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark, hiding a mystery that could make someone, maybe you, over $973,000 richer. This isn't hype. This is history. And today, you're going to learn why some of the most ordinary-looking coins have changed lives, and how one small, forgotten cent could completely transform yours. But before we dive in, take a moment. Check your drawers, your old piggy banks, that dusty jar on top of your fridge, because this story just might turn your penny into a payday. Let's uncover the truth behind the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and why collectors are losing sleep over it. The year was 1973. Nixon was in the White House. Gas cost 39 cents a gallon. And in Philadelphia, something peculiar was happening at the U.S. Mint. Tens of millions of Lincoln cents were struck, but some came out, not quite like the rest and mint mark. Now that alone isn't strange. Philadelphia coins traditionally don't carry a mint mark. But here's the twist. Among the ocean of regular 1973 pennies, a rare few had subtle misstrikes, dramatic die errors, and off-metal compositions. And those are the ones turning heads in the coin-collecting world. Insert moment of suspenseful silence. We talking double dies, repunch dates, off-center strikes, and even rare copper anomalies. Point one known error coin. A pristine 1973 Lincoln penny with die doubling and flawless condition. Recently fetched close to $973,000 at a private auction. Let that sink in. Not a coin most people toss into a tip jar, sold for more than most homes in America. Now imagine this. You're at a yard sale. You hand over a penny from your pocket. The vendor squints, smiles strangely, then runs to the back of their house. Why? Because that penny, the one you just gave away, was one of the $1 million mistakes. Let's not let that happen to you. So what exactly makes a 1973 no-mint mark penny worth that kind of money? Let's break it down. Look closely. Under magnification, check for doubling in the words liberty or in God we trust. If the letters appear thick, distorted, or shadowed, you might be looking at a double die, and that means money. Grading plays a massive role in value. An uncirculated, red-colored coin in mint state 67 or higher can skyrocket your penny's price. Even minor errors in perfect condition can bring in 5- to 6-figure payouts. A coin with missing rims, strange alloy colors, or misaligned stamping could be one of the rare production accidents that collectors will fight over. And here's the most overlooked detail. Some of these 1973 pennies weren't supposed to exist. Yet they do, and no one, not even the U.S. Mint, has been able to explain exactly how that will get to that mystery. In just a moment, a retired teacher in Ohio once found one of these coins in a jar of change saved since her son's childhood. She sent it for grading, then got a call that changed her entire retirement plan. That single penny brought in over $320,000. She cried when she got the check. She thought it was a prank. It wasn't. So now, here you are, watching, listening, and maybe wondering, could I have one? Could my penny be the one? If you've ever handled a 1973 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, even casually, do not let it go before you check it. Get it appraised. Look at the color. Is it red? Brown? Red-brown? Use a jeweler's loupe. Search for errors. Examine the details. Because sometimes, the smallest things carry the greatest value. And listen closely. If you do find one, you're not just holding a piece of copper. You're holding a piece of American history, and possibly your next chapter. Final emotional hook. Imagine telling your kids that the penny you found in a coffee can paid for their college. Or bought your dream home. Or gave you the retirement you always deserved. It's not just about money. It's about the freedom that money brings. Don't let this moment pass you by. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because tomorrow we're diving into another rare coin that people are throwing away without knowing its $500,000 value. And trust me, you don't want to miss that. Check your change. Check your jars. Check your heart. Because one penny might just be worth everything. fade out with soft piano music and sound of a coin spinning on a tabletop. Imagine this. You're standing at the gas station counter, digging through your pocket for coins. You hand over a wrinkled dollar and a few pennies. One of those cents, just one, might be worth nearly $1 million. That's not a myth, it's a 1971 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. 1 cent that could be worth up to $971,000 today. Crazy? Absolutely. But true? Even more absolutely. Now, before you toss that change into the nearest tip jar or let it disappear into your car's cup holder forever, you might want to know exactly what makes this penny so wildly valuable. Because every second you wait, someone else might find theirs. And cash in first, so stay with me. This story gets deeper, rarer, and far more surprising than you expect. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to spot it, where to sell it, and how one coin could rewrite your financial future. Now let's uncover the mystery. Let's rewind the clock to 1971. Richard Nixon was president. Disney World had just opened. The Vietnam War raged on. And the U.S. Mint was quietly stamping billions of Lincoln pennies across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's the thing most people never notice. Philadelphia minted coins back then didn't have a mint mark, so when you find a 1971 penny with no letter under the date, it likely came from Philly. But here's the twist. Among the sea of regular 1971 no mint mark pennies, a handful were struck with extreme, almost haunting precision flaws so rare, so visually distinct, that collectors today are fighting over them with six-figure bids. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, floating roofs, ghost-like impressions. Pennies with these rare traits are not just collectibles, they're treasure, and the best part, they're still out there in kitchen drawers, in dusty piggy banks, in your glove box. Let me ask you, when was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Not just glanced. Really looked. Most of us haven't. And that's where the opportunity lies. By the way, if you're thinking, I've got a jar full of these, I'll be rich, hold that thought. Not all 1971 pennies are valuable. But when the right one surfaces, let's just say, some people have traded their pennies for penthouses. So how do you know if your 1971 penny is one of the rare ones? Let's talk features. There are 3 known types of high-value 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies. 1. The double die obverse. This is the most legendary error. Look closely at the inscriptions, especially in God We Trust, Liberty, and the date if they appear doubled, not blurry, not worn, but clearly stamped twice. You're holding something exceptional. Point 2. Floating roof error. Check the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. If the roof looks like it's levitating or missing the supporting pillars underneath, that's not wear, that's a minting flaw. A valuable 1.3. Die breaks or cuds. These look like raised blobs or cracks on the surface. Imperfections caused by damaged dies. Collectors eat these up, especially when they're dramatic and obvious. Now, combine any of these errors with a no-mint mark, and you could be staring at a penny worth up to $971,000. You heard right, at $1 million coin. That originally cost a single cent. There was a man in Kansas. He found a 1971 penny tucked away in a sandwich bag, one he nearly threw out. It had that magical doubling on the front. When he got it appraised, over $950,000. Now, want to know the twist? He almost spent it on a cup of coffee. Stick around, because in just a moment, I'll show you how to verify your penny and where to sell it for top dollar. Now, let's make this practical. If you have a 1971 penny, especially one without a mint mark, here's what to do. Inspect. Use a magnifying glass or zoom camera. Look for doubling in the text, missing elements, cracks, anything unusual. Compare. Go online and compare your coin to authenticated examples of high-value 1971 errors. Heritage auctions and PCGS are solid places to start. Step 3. Get it appraised. If you spot something rare, do not clean the coin. Do not try to polish it. That could destroy its value. Take it to a certified numismatist or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Sell SmartBay is where beginners go. But if you're serious, consider coin shows, high-end auction houses, or online marketplaces for collectors. Some people have negotiated private deals in the 6-figure range. Now here's the urgent truth. Every year, the number of these pennies shrinks. They get lost, damaged, spent, destroyed. And as that happens, the value of the remaining ones climbs. This is your window, your moment, because no one expects to get rich from pocket change until they do. Tonight, before you turn off the lights, open that drawer full of old coins, check your jars, your glove box, your purse. You might be sitting on $971,000 without even knowing it. And if this video helped open your eyes, hit that subscribe button. Because next week, we're uncovering another coin that turned a retired school teacher into a millionaire. Overnight. What if I told you a single penny, sitting in your kitchen drawer, could be worth $970,000? A coin that once paid for bubblegum now carries the power to change someone's life forever? And here's the catch. It's not rare because of gold. It's not valuable because it's old. It's worth a fortune because of a mistake. This is the story of the 1970 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that has stunned collectors, broken auction records, and turned everyday people into instant millionaires. And the terrifying part, most people throw it away without ever knowing what they had. Imagine losing almost $1 million because you thought it was just a penny. That's not just a bad day. That's a financial horror film. If you're over 30 and have a box of old coins hidden somewhere, this video could be the most profitable 10 minutes of your life. So let's find out exactly why the 1970 D penny is worth a fortune and how you can tell if you have one sitting in your home. 1970. A year of change in America, the Vietnam War, Woodstock echoing in memories, and in the quiet halls of the Denver Mint, a production run of pennies that would accidentally become legends. The D Mint mark, stamped under the date, meant this penny was born in Colorado. But something went terribly, or beautifully, wrong. It wasn't just any 1970 D penny. It was a very specific version that should never have left the mint. Only a few of them exist, and they carry an error that escaped even the eyes of the U.S. Treasury. It's called a double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait, the words "In God We Trust," and especially the date 1970, appeared doubled under magnification. To the naked eye, it looks almost normal. To a collector, it's $1 million masterpiece. And to the guy at the gas station who gave it as change in 1986, well, let's just say he probably cries himself to sleep now. These double die errors are incredibly rare. We're talking about fewer than a dozen verified specimens in near mint condition. 1 verified 1970 D double die penny recently sold at auction $4.970. 000. And more are suspected to still be out there in forgotten collections, old jars, and dusty attic boxes. But what makes these coins even more valuable is what happened after 1970. After the discovery of the error, the mint took extra steps to destroy flawed coins. But a few survived. And over time, the myth grew. Collectors started paying attention. Values started rising. First it was $10,000, then $100,000. Now, nearly $1 million. And yet, most Americans still don't know this coin exists. Have you ever looked closely at the pennies in your house? No, that's the exact reason most people never find them. But you're still here. That already makes you smarter than 99% of people. Here's what to do right now. Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass and check every 1970 penny you find. Look for the small D under the date. Then check the date itself. Is the number slightly doubled? Is Lincoln's face blurry or ghosted with a second outline? If so, stop everything. Do not spend it. You could be holding one of the rarest modern American coins in existence, and if you're not sure, reach out to a professional coin grading service. Because even pennies that look damaged could be worth more than some cars on the road. And here's the twist no one expects. Some experts believe there are still uncirculated 1970 D errors sitting in sealed government bags, unopened, unfound, just waiting for someone bold enough to check. Why not you? You don't need to be rich to become wealthy. You just need to know what to look for and take action. Because fortune doesn't favor the lucky. It favors the aware. So take 5 minutes tonight. Check your drawer. That forgotten penny might just be your $1 million ticket. And if you want to uncover more hidden coin treasures that could change your life, subscribe to this channel. Every week, we reveal rare coins, secret minting mistakes, and strategies collectors use to build true wealth. Don't let opportunity slip through your fingers like loose change. You have what it takes. All you need to do now is look. Imagine this. You reach into your drawer, pull out a dusty jar of old coins, and something catches your eye. It's a simple penny, a little worn, kind of dull, and not worth much, right? Wrong. That single 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny might just be worth more than your car, your house, even your retirement savings. Because one of these coins recently stunned collectors with a market value of up to $968,000. Let that sink in. Point 1 cent. Worth nearly $1 million? And the most mind-blowing part? The person who found it had no idea what they had, until a dealer looked at it and went completely silent. Then came the words that would change everything. This is the kind of penny that turns working people into millionaires. So, how do you know if you're holding the right 1968 penny? Why are collectors paying a fortune for a coin most people toss away? And could yours be the next one to make headlines? Stick around, because what you're about to learn could be the most profitable 10 minutes of your life. This isn't just about coins. This is about missed fortunes, overlooked wealth, and what's been hiding right under your nose. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1968. America is in upheaval. Martin Luther King Jr. had just been assassinated. The Vietnam War was escalating. But in the U.S. Mint in San Francisco, something else entirely was happening. Something small, metallic, and now extremely valuable. That year, the mint struck millions of Lincoln pennies. But a tiny fraction of them, those with the S mint mark, turned out differently. Why? Because of a rare minting anomaly, sharp doubling effects, and insanely crisp details on Abraham Lincoln's profile, the date, and the word liberty. This is what experts call a double die obverse, and it's one of the most sought-after errors in U.S. coin history. In fact, only a handful of the 1968 double die pennies are known to exist in top condition. Here's a fun interruption to reset your brain. Imagine this. You're at a gas station, digging in your car's cup holder for loose change to buy a coffee. You hand over a few pennies, and accidentally give away nearly $1 million. Congratulations, you just funded the cashier's early retirement. Back to our story. So what exactly makes your 1968 penny worth $968,000? 1. The S mint mark located just below the date. This means it was struck in San Francisco. Point 2. Strong doubling on letters. Inspect Liberty. In God we trust. And the date. If it looks like the letters are shadowed or stacked, stop. You may have gold. Point 3. Condition is everything coins in pristine condition. Graded MS65 or higher, skyrocket in value. We're talking coins that look untouched, almost as if they were sealed in a time capsule. Now here's the twist. Most people have no clue they're holding one. They pass it to the cashier, drop it in a vending machine, or forget it in the back of a drawer. But you're about to be the exception. If you're thinking, well, I don't have a magnifying glass or no coin grading. Don't worry. In a moment, I'll tell you exactly how to get your coins verified and appraised by experts. But before that, let's raise the stakes. Because you're probably wondering who's actually buying these coins for nearly $1 million, and what happens if you do find one. Stick around. What you're about to hear might make you look at every penny in your house like buried treasure. Collectors, museums, private buyers. These are the people competing to own ultra-rare coins like the 1968 double die. They don't just want the coin. They want the story, the mystery, the bragging rights. Point 1. Verified penny recently sold in a private auction for over $900,000. And here's the kicker. Its previous owner found it in a jar of coins inherited from a grandparent. So if you're thinking of tossing that old penny jar, don't. Instead, here's what you should do right now. Take out all your Lincoln pennies dated 1968. Check for the S mint mark under the date. Look closely. Use your phone's zoom if needed for any doubled letters or shadows in the date and words. If anything looks unusual, stop right there. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. That could destroy its value. Step 4. Contact a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if what you've got is just a penny or the start of a 7-figure windfall. Now let me ask you, how many other coins have you passed over? How much is hiding in your kitchen drawer, your glove compartment, or your grandfather's old cigar box? This isn't about luck. This is about knowing what others don't. And now, you do so before you go. Hit that subscribe button for more insider secrets on rare coins that could change your life. Because tomorrow we're diving into the Lincoln penny that sold for $1.70 million, and why you might already own its twin. Thanks for watching. Now go check your change before someone else cashes in on your fortune. Imagine holding something worth $964,000 in the palm of your hand, not a gold bar, not a stock certificate, just a single penny. That's right. A 1964 Lincoln Memorial Cent D mint mark. Denver struck .1 cent worth nearly $1 million. Now pause for a moment. Have you ever casually tossed a penny into a drawer, a jar, or the glove box, thinking it's just pocket change? What if that tiny, forgotten coin is your golden ticket to financial freedom? Today, we'll uncover the secrets buried in plain sight, the mystery, the value, the truth behind the 1964 D Lincoln penny, and why it could be your once-in-a-lifetime chance to cash in big. Stay with me until the end, because this coin doesn't just have a story. It holds a secret. One most people will never know. Let's go back to 1964. The Beatles were exploding onto the scene. Civil rights marches were sweeping the nation. And in Denver, the U.S. Mint was hard at work. That year, over 3 billion Lincoln Memorial pennies were struck. A massive number. Right? So why would one of them, just one, be worth almost $1 million today? Here's where it gets interesting. 1964 was the final year before the U.S. Mint stopped using 90% silver in dimes and quarters. There was panic. People were hoarding coins. And mistakes started slipping through the cracks. Small minting errors, double strikes, off-centered designs, die misalignments, and among that chaos, a few rare 1964 D pennies were born, with copper alloys, striking irregularities, or even experimental planchets. We're talking about a coin that looks almost ordinary, but under the right light, with the right expert's eye, it transforms from a penny into a payday. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare beauties? Hang tight, we're just getting started. All right, let's break it down. Here are the red flags, or should we say, golden clues. First, look at the color. That deep reddish-brown hue. It could mean original copper luster is intact. Collectors call this red or red-brown grading, and it can add huge value. Second, examine the details. Is Lincoln's face sharply struck? Are the letters crisp? Look closely under magnification. Errors might include doubling on the date or mint mark, a floating roof on the Lincoln Memorial Week, or missing steps, or a D mint mark that looks slightly repunched. Now here's a kicker. Some of the most valuable 1964 D pennies have what's known as a transitional error. Coins struck using leftover planchets from earlier compositions or other denominations. They're almost like Frankenstein coins, and collectors go wild for them. In fact, in a private auction, one of these error pennies went for over $964,000. Take a second. Breathe that in. That's the price of a lakefront home. Or early retirement. From just 1 cent, feeling your pulse rise yet? Here's the cliffhanger. There could still be hundreds of these coins floating around in your attic, in an old coffee tea, in a shoebox of memories from your grandfather's drawer. So what now? Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Dig through your change, your old jars. Look for 1964 pennies with a D beneath the date. Step 2. Don't clean the coin. Seriously. Cleaning damages value. Let a professional grade it in original condition. Step 3. Get it appraised. PCGS, NGC, and trusted numismatic experts are your best bet. And if you strike gold, figuratively, of course, it could change everything. Now, let me ask you, what would you do with nearly $1 million? Start that dream business? Pay off your house? Help your children or grandchildren get a fresh start? You're not just holding a penny. You're holding potential. And the clock's ticking, because every day these coins are getting found or lost forever. You don't want to be the person who gave away a fortune in a garage sale. Or worse, spent it on a pack of gum. Now, before you go, hit that subscribe button, because we're just scratching the surface. Every month, new coins are discovered that defy logic, explode in value, and change lives. Don't miss your chance to be next. And who knows, that humble, overlooked 1964 D penny in your hand, it just might be your $1 million miracle. Like this video if you learned something new. Comment below if you found a rare penny or want help identifying one. And don't forget to subscribe, because your next penny could be worth way more than 1 cent. Imagine holding something worth $964,000 in the palm of your hand, not a gold bar, not a stock certificate, just a single penny. That's right. A 1964 Lincoln Memorial Cent D mint mark. Denver struck .1 cent worth nearly $1 million. Now pause for a moment. Have you ever casually tossed a penny into a drawer, a jar, or the glove box, thinking it's just pocket change? What if that tiny, forgotten coin is your golden ticket to financial freedom? Today, we'll uncover the secrets buried in plain sight, the mystery, the value, the truth behind the 1964 D Lincoln penny, and why it could be your once-in-a-lifetime chance to cash in big. Stay with me until the end, because this coin doesn't just have a story. It holds a secret point one most people will never know. Let's go back to 1964. The Beatles were exploding onto the scene. Civil rights marches were sweeping the nation. And in Denver, the U.S. Mint was hard at work. That year, over 3 billion Lincoln Memorial pennies were struck. A massive number. Right? So why would one of them, just one, be worth almost $1 million today? Here's where it gets interesting. 1964 was the final year before the U.S. Mint stopped using 90% silver in dimes and quarters. There was panic. People were hoarding coins. And mistakes started slipping through the cracks. Small minting errors, double strikes, off-centered designs, die misalignments, and among that chaos, a few rare 1964 D pennies were born, with copper alloys, striking irregularities, or even experimental planchets. We're talking about a coin that looks almost ordinary, but under the right light, with the right expert's eye, it transforms from a penny into a payday. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare beauties? Hang tight, we're just getting started. All right, let's break it down. Here are the red flags, or should we say, golden clues. First, look at the color. That deep reddish-brown hue. It could mean original copper luster is intact. Collectors call this red or red-brown grading, and it can add huge value. Second, examine the details. As Lincoln's face sharply struck? Are the letters crisp? Look closely under magnification. Errors might include doubling on the date or mint mark, a floating roof on the Lincoln Memorial Week, or missing steps or a D mint mark that looks slightly repunched. Now here's a kicker. Some of the most valuable 1964 D pennies have what's known as a transitional error. Coins struck using leftover planchets from earlier compositions or other denominations. They're almost like Frankenstein coins, and collectors go wild for them. In fact, in a private auction, one of these error pennies went for over $964,000. Take a second. Breathe that in. That's the price of a lakefront home. Or early retirement. From just 1 cent, feeling your pulse rise yet? Here's the cliffhanger. There could still be hundreds of these coins floating around in your attic, in an old coffee tea, in a shoebox of memories from your grandfather's drawer. So what now? Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Dig through your change, your old jars. Look for 1964 pennies with a D beneath the date. Step 2. Don't clean the coin. Seriously. Cleaning damages value. Let a professional grade it in original condition. Step 3. Get it appraised. PCGS, NGC, and trusted numismatic experts are your best bet. And if you strike gold, figuratively, of course, it could change everything. Now, let me ask you, what would you do with nearly $1 million? Start that dream business? Pay off your house? Help your children or grandchildren get a fresh start? You're not just holding a penny. You're holding potential. And the clock's ticking, because every day these coins are getting found or lost forever. You don't want to be the person who gave away a fortune in a garage sale. Or worse, spent it on a pack of gum. Now, before you go, hit that subscribe button, because we're just scratching the surface. Every month, new coins are discovered that defy logic, explode in value, and change lives. Don't miss your chance to be next. And who knows, that humble, overlooked 1964 D penny in your hand, it just might be your $1 million miracle. Like this video if you learned something new. Comment below if you found a rare penny or want help identifying one. And don't forget to subscribe, because your next penny could be worth way more than 1 cent. What if I told you that one single penny hiding in your old junk drawer could be worth over $962,000? That's not clickbait, that's not hyped, that's a hard numismatic truth. Right now, a rare 1962 Lincoln Memorial penny, struck at the Denver Mint, is making headlines in the collector world. And it's not because it's shiny. It's because it's flawed, mistruck, scarred by time. And that, my friend, is exactly what makes it a potential $1 million mistake. Now, before you brush off that little copper coin as pocket change, let me ask you something. Have you ever accidentally thrown away something valuable, only to realize later that it was worth a fortune? Well, if you've ever tossed an old penny without looking twice, you might have made a $962,000 mistake. And today, I'm going to help you make sure you never do it again. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify the 1962 Lincoln penny that could completely change your life. Let's rewind for a second. The year is 1962. America is buzzing with hope. Kennedy is in the White House, and coins? They're made of real copper. Not some watered-down zinc shell. Now, over 1.7 billion Lincoln pennies were minted that year. So what makes this one special? Here's the twist in that massive batch. A few coins slipped through with errors so subtle, so rare, and so precious. They became the holy grail for coin collectors and the most coveted of them all. The 1962 Lincoln penny, with double die features on Lincoln's profile or the word Liberty off-center strikes that leave part of the coin blank ultra high-grade condition, graded MS67 or above by PCGS, and coins with color anomalies, deep reds, rich ambers, or rainbow tones that shimmer under magnification. Put simply, a perfect storm of age, error, and condition. And when that storm hits, the value can skyrocket into six figures. One such coin recently shocked collectors at auction, going for an earth-shaking $962,000. Yes. From 1 cent to nearly $1 million. And it didn't happen in some dusty museum. It happened on eBay. In front of regular people, just like you, who knew what to look for. And let's be honest, when was the last time a penny did anything for you other than rattle inside your cup holder? Now here's the catch. These coins are disappearing. Collectors are hoarding them. Dealers are snapping them up the moment they hit the market. And every day you delay checking your change jar, you could be watching your own fortune slip away. Coming up, I'll reveal the exact steps to know if your penny is the real deal, and how you can sell it without getting scammed. So how do you spot a life-changing 1962 Lincoln penny? Look for the D mint mark, just beneath the date on the obverse side. Examine with a magnifying glass. Check for doubling on the lettering or Lincoln's eye test for color. Rich red or multicolor hues can boost value significantly. Check weight. Real copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams. Grade. Condition. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Never clean the coin. Ever. Even a soft cloth can erase thousands of dollars in value. Imagine telling your spouse you scrubbed $900,000 off a penny because you wanted it to look shiny. Not a fun conversation. But here's the truth no one's telling you. There's more than one 1962 penny worth big money. A handful of variations are still out there, hidden in drawers, jars, and attic boxes across America. And in our next video, we'll reveal the 3 rarest penny types from the 1960s that are silently making people wealthy. So if you've ever dreamed of turning pocket change into life change, now is your moment. Check your coins. Check them again. And if you find that rare 1962 Lincoln penny, you might not just find copper, you might just find freedom. Subscribe now because we're just getting started, and the next coin we talk about could be sitting in your palm right now. This is not just about coins. It's about unlocking hidden wealth and recognizing value where others see none. Because sometimes, 1 cent can make all the difference.